The Agíkúyú community is losing its indigenous cultural foods. One may ask, what's the big deal if they lose it? This is the big deal. 1. These foods have a low glycemic index. This means they have the potential of preventing and reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. These foods are rich in phytochemicals. Imagine a plant that is able to fight diseases without the application of pesticides. These phytochemicals have the potential of reducing and preventing cancers, which we are seeing cropping in Mount Kenya region. These foods, they have the potential of connecting the Agíkúyú people to their cultural identity, thus increasing their dopamine level and increasing their emotional and mental health. I am committed to bringing these foods back into the farms and promote their consumption. Over the past 1 year, I have enjoyed guiding and training a group of small-scale farmers in the importance of restoring the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods on the farm, in the granary, and on the table. What have we achieved over the past 1 year? 1, I have trained the first cohort of small-scale farmers on soil health, the importance of restoring the Agíkúyú restoring the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods, consuming them, and the impact of climate change. So this we started in July last year, and these farmers, all of them, have completed a 5-week soil health module that has empowered them to restore the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods. The program, we are calling it Teri Niguirio Sianda, meaning verbatim translation, the soil is food for the stomach. Without healthy soils, we can't have nutritious foods. And according to data, 65% of our land in the country, arable land, is acidic. So we are using indigenous farming practices that the Agíkúyú people used to cure this. Among other things that the Agíkúyú people were using was wood ash to reduce this, and it's working very well. A lot of farmers in the group were complaining about gastroesophageal reflux disease. A lot of them, 1 year down the line, nobody is complaining about it. And this is because the foods that we are eating are planted on acidic soil. So even if our Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods are preventive and curative medicine, without correcting the soil, without improving the health of the soil, is all for nothing. So that's one of the things we've done. Another thing around that is climate change. We have seen the patterns. The farmers are aware of this. All the farmers are aware of this. They know the weather patterns have changed, and we're also correcting that. We have planted indigenous trees. This is the thing. The indigenous people, they lived in unison with nature. It is the foods that were planted, the trees that were planted, they were friendly to the environment. But as time has gone by, we don't have indigenous trees in the farms, not anymore. We don't have that. And some of these things, one of the most interesting things that we saw, that I witnessed, this was like really, really amazing and cool, is when we restored millet and I think some sorghum as well in the farm, we saw birds. Farmers were so astonished. They saw birds come all the way from, they were saying, as far as Moya, and it's quite a distance. They saw birds come back. Imagine that. They saw birds come back. So is the interconnectedness of the trees, of the foods that were there at that time. And sometimes we might think about very complicated methods of trying to solve some of the problems that we are facing. But it lies in just things that were there, the indigenous knowledge, because it has somewhat been rubbished as not important, although I see a lot of people are trying to adopt that, which is good. Yeah. And the other reason why we have such a high level of type 2 diabetes among the rural population, particularly in Mount Kenya region, is because of high glycemic index foods. This is one of the things that has astonished me is the glycemic index of our foods. Between 12 and 20 and 30, a good meal will be around 24. That's really good. That's really good. All the people who have come to the occasions have reported feeling warmth in their stomach, because you know what? The glucose in the body, in the food, is being released gradually, and that release of glucose gradually, it stimulates intestinal dopamine to be released, and a feeling of warmth, a feeling of relaxation. It's one of those things when you study and you see the science come to life, and it's right there, and it's happening, and it's working. It's that makes me feel so honored to be doing this, to be part of this. It is those reports where you don't ask for the information, you don't ask, but someone says, oh my God, when they call, when I came to the occasion, I did not even eat dinner because I just felt full. That's satiety. It has the satiety element and the glycemic index, and these are somewhat interconnected, but they are also independent if you really think about it. And the satiety part, another reason I'm talking about satiety is because also the farmers have reported that they don't feel hungry for a long time. And of course, for the obvious reasons. Low glycemic index, the release of energy, and then the fiber is high. So there's a lot there that is so amazingly beautiful. And to see some farmers get off medication, it's so amazing. Someone was spending money on antacids. They're not spending money. Someone else was literally sick. They are not sick anymore. They're not going to the doctor. They're not in the hospital. They're not on medication. One of the farmers said that immediately after I taught them, like 3-4 months down the line, the green vegetables indigenous vegetables were ready for cooking, harvesting. And one of the farmers during the sessions, he told me, you know what? I used to wake up feeling fatigued, and now I don't. So I dug a little bit more to know what type of vegetables he is eating. And one of the vegetables that he was eating every single day is managu, black nightshade. Yeah, that's what he was eating. And black nightshade, it has 6 milligrams of iron. 6 milligrams. An adult male needs 8 milligrams. That's around 70-something% of their daily dietary allowance. 20-something%. That is so amazing. For women is 18 milligrams, so it's around 30-something%. But that is in 100 grams. So if that person can increase it to 300 grams per day, I mean, it is possible to solve some of this problem. Of course, it's very complicated because the problems are very complicated. But with the right expertise and skills, it is possible. And I know it's possible because I have done it. It is working, it is doing well. Farmers are reporting such good stories. And the beauty of it is they're not telling me stories, they're telling me their real, everyday, authentic stories that they are telling me. Every single day I visit to the farm is amazing. I feel so honored. You know, I have hosted people in this podcast before who have talked about the amazing things, and I have celebrated them. And today I am really celebrating myself for the amount of work that I have done, the commitment. And I'm also celebrating the people who have held my hand, the people who have given a donation, the people who have given some skills, technical advice, people who have retweeted or liked or reposted. I'm really grateful. People who I have hosted in my podcast, I'm really grateful. I mean, solving food security systems in Africa is going to be very, very, very tough. It's going to be very tough. Very, very tough. One, the problems that we are facing are so complex. They need you to really study and understand it so that you can bring relevant solutions to the community. And then just the part of production. We've not gone into distribution and retail. So complicated. But this is it. These are the problems that we are facing, compounded by climate change. Because we are going to be seeing those that dynamic, the what? I'm looking for a good word. The changes. No, I think, yeah, the changes. Let's just go with the changes. The changes in the patterns of our climate. The farmers are aware. They tell you we planted, and I know it because sometime back in 2018, 17, 19, I think, 17, 18, I did do the same. I planted some beans. And it did not rain until towards the last week of March. In Mount Kenya region, that is not what used to be. First week of March, long rains, or last week of February. It's not happening that way anymore, And like I know some rivers that are drying up, and this is very sad. That is actually in the mountain is drying up. That is the source. It's drying up. Anyway, so having trained that is one of the things that we have achieved. I have so much to tell, so many stories. If you follow me on X or Facebook, TikTok, or on Instagram, or on LinkedIn, on YouTube, you can see the stories. I cannot tell it all in this podcast about what we have achieved. One of the other things that I'm very happy about is we have restored indigenous cultural foods. As I have been saying, over 15 types of vegetables. We have yams, we have cassavas, we have at least 5 types of bananas, green bananas, and also ripening bananas. And this is the thing. We have grown up somehow knowing, or even scientifically, we have been told that we have ripening bananas and we have green bananas. No, in the Agíkúyú community, those bananas can be ripened and they can be cooked. One of them is gitege. Wow. That banana, I ate that banana. The glycemic index in it and the sugar content in it is low. It's so different in taste. You know, this is the thing about food. You can taste the biochemistry of food. You can taste the biochemistry of food. Yeah, you can taste the biochemistry of food. I wanted to say the biochemistry of food can be tasted. You can taste the biochemistry of food. And this is one of my favorite things to do. It's just to taste and, oh, that is not fresh. Oh, that is, I love tasting. It's a scientific method of food analysis. It's quite amazing. Maize, we have maize, millets, gourds for fermenting usuruamukio. We have that as well. We have restored that. That farmer is amazing. Her name is Grace Tugura. She's so amazing. We have beans on the farm and we have restored this. So another thing we have done is promoting local economy. These farmers are selling not less than 60 liters of usuruamukio weekly, on a weekly basis. They are selling vegetables. And people who are buying from them, they are saying it tastes different. Yeah. We have increased household food security. Imagine a farmer who did not have indigenous vegetables. Not even one in the farm. Zero. This is how serious the problem is. Zero. And now they have vegetables. And it's not just one. They have 15. They have 15 types of vegetables. How lovely is that? You know, I always worked in community. My first job, I was posted in Samburu. In Samburu County, I was dealing with malnourished children under 5 years. And I remember one time I tried to organize a group of women so that they can farm. It was very complicated. Nevertheless, some of them did. But working with communities is very tough. And I've always loved to bring community interventions because it's when you bring community intervention that there's a ripple effect. Not triple. There's a ripple effect. And it's until you do the community work, you'll never have a ripple effect at the market, at the retail. It's not possible. It's just not possible. Some of these things I learned when I was in Samburu, when I was doing that. And learned about policies and all this and how policies can really affect implementations of programs. Yeah. Great experience though. It taught me a lot. Increased and promoted emotional and mental health among small-scale farmers and the local community. It is the joy of, when I meet the farm, you can tell, they tell you. It's amazing. We are combating climate change, as I have already said that, and we have community outreach. Like in November, we're going to have the second graduation. We already have the second cohort of farmers. It's so weird that 2 years ago, before I started, I was really stuck. Seeing the problem, understanding the problem, whom do you tell? This is the problem. This is what's going on. Okay, yeah, we all know this is the problem. How do we fix that? How can we really fix that? And sometimes it's not that people don't want to fix. Sometimes it's just that the problem is just so complicated. No, it's so complex, not complicated. It's so complex. Complicated and complex are two different things, or it can be both. I guess that's what should be doing, fixing. So this has been such a lovely experience for me. And I just want to celebrate that 1 year. And it's serendipity for me because exactly at 1 year, I got a call that I have won a gold community award from Tujiamini with Sport Pesa. That was really nice. It's almost like, I remember posting on social media saying, I hope the gods will guide me. It's almost like that was a sign for me that the gods are guiding me. Because it's not easy to do what I'm doing. It's very tough. It's very, very tough. With limited resources especially, you know. But look at what I have done. Look at that past 1 year. And I'm so grateful that someone saw that, recognized that, and celebrated me for that. I always said I'm celebrating founders, but it kind of does feel good when people notice your work. It really does feel good. And part of these farmers are actually supported by the award. Some of them, I'm still raising money for and funds for other expenses, but that's okay. So these are some of the things. I cannot really just give everything that we have achieved. It's a lot. And I'm not just saying that because I want to boast about it. The thing is, when you plan for an intervention, you have the expected outputs. You want to have certain outcomes. And the outcomes I've had are so good. So good. So good. It's like, why didn't I start earlier? But then there's always the, how do I do it? Well, where do you start? But I started anyway. And I kept putting one foot in front of the other. And I'm grateful for everybody who has supported me in whichever way. I am eternally grateful for that. And that's where the future takes us. And as I close this, among the 17 SDGs from the UN, and it's not like I said, you know what, I want to contribute to 7. I want to contribute to 7. I did not say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. I want to contribute to all those 7. No. I saw a problem. I studied the problem. I brought an intervention. And the outcomes, oh my God, I went to the outcomes and I'm like, ooh, okay. Maybe the others are contributing, all of them, but this is quite something. So we are contributing to 7 out of the 17. That is almost 47% or 40 over 40%. That's really nice. It's really nice. It's yay. Go girl. Yeah. So we are contributing to no poverty, 0 hunger, good health and well-being, gender equality, sustainable cities and communities. This one is working very well. Sustainable cities and communities. Here I will say sustainable communities is working so well. So well. The other day we are having a meeting and one of the farmers says, you know what, this is even helping me reduce stress. Imagine that. Imagine that. I never sat down and said, how can I reduce stress among the Agíkúyú farmers? I did not do that. Food is doing that. The problem that we are solving is doing that. Those are the outcomes. It is when you're there seated with them and hearing the stories and seeing the outcome and visiting the farm, my goodness, visiting the farms to see someone come from 0 to 100%. Okay, my target is 26, 25 vegetables. So far we are at 50%. It's just because they are like so complicated to do, but we'll get there. And then yay, climate change. We are doing climate action. We are doing something about, because how are you going to produce food if you don't have the weather? Right? Yeah? It's no rocket science. No. It's just common sense. It's common sense. Oh, look, we don't have trees, we don't have anything. We don't have how you're going to produce. It's just, even the Agíkúyú Indigenous people understood that. I'm going to do another podcast. I am going to work so hard on that. God give me the grace, but I don't want to talk about that right now. So we are doing climate action, and I'm very happy to see how things are going. Life on land. You get to those farmers, and the thing is, even when like around this time in January, when it's really hot in the Mount Kenya region, these vegetables particularly, well, it's not like they are not being affected, but they're not being so much affected. Yeah. So with the little resources that I had for the past 1 year, donation here, donation there, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is what we have achieved. Is a blessing, quite frankly. I feel so blessed. I feel I feel this is what nutrition should be. This is what nutrition should be. And I'm so honored to be doing this. I honor the farmers who every week they show up. Every week for the past 1 year, they have shown up. And I don't even pay them. They have shown up to learn, because they have seen the changes. They have understood why they're doing it. Well, above all, I honor God as well for giving me the opportunity to bring change in my own community. They say charity begins at home. And this marks the end of celebrating what I have achieved in the past 1 year. Bye-bye for now, and thank you for watching and listening.